But Calvin Russell is also committed. The 5-star out of the Miami, Florida area has committed to the Syracuse Orange. Joe, another unprecedented move here. Fran Brown doing what he needs to do, get a bona fide wide receiver, and quite honestly, smart move maybe by Calvin Russell as much as Syracuse does throw the football. But Syracuse Orange, get Calvin Russell. Your thoughts?
Very good, interesting player. He's big, tall, long, plays like a basketball player. He's 6'5", very gifted young man. I implore anybody who wants to see a breakdown of him, head on over to the A to Z Sports Film Room channel. Ryan and I broke him down. I was texting with Ryan after he committed because it was so shocking. This was even more shocking than the Ojo commitment because at least you could rationalize a kid going to Texas Tech because there's a financial commitment there. And what I was talking about with Ryan is that Russell wants to play basketball. He's getting offers and getting recruited by major programs to play basketball. So at immediate face value, you think, oh, he wants to play at Syracuse. They're the best team that offered him. I was reading into this.
No, LSU was on him. Bama was on him. Miami was on him. Everybody was on him.
The first school that was on him out of any that everybody thought that he was going to commit to was Michigan. Dusty May was recruiting him as a basketball player when he was at FAU, and he maintained that level of recruitment for him to go to Michigan and to play football and to play basketball. And I would argue Michigan right now has a better basketball program than Syracuse. The even crazier part, his mom is in the Miami Athletics Hall of Fame as a basketball player. So he has all these reasons to not go to Syracuse. I think that this more than any situation, and I really hope he stays committed and he doesn't change his mind. Everybody keeps tweeting about how he's going to change his mind. He's going to end up at Michigan. This is the clearest indication that Fran Brown's starting to not only break through isn't even the right word. He's establishing himself on the recruiting landscape. I don't know if he's going to get another 5-star. I find it unlikely. But to get a kid from South Florida, and he's been getting these guys that aren't just from the New York area, he's been getting guys from the South to come play at Syracuse, that shows who Fran Brown is as a coach. That to me shows that he is a brilliant recruiter and he is a great man that people just want to be around.
I'm going to say this, and before Syracuse fans want to cancel me, I've said multiple times on this show that I would, if Fran Brown came to my house to recruit my son, whether Ben Ruffino wanted it or not, Syracuse is in the mix. I don't care what anybody tells me. I love Fran Brown. For me in this one, it speaks volumes regardless of what happens for Fran Brown because he got the commitment. However, with this one, because the Ojo situation's different, Joe, because finances have already kind of been agreed to. Joe, when we get here in December and Miami has a 10-2 season and they're going to the playoff and they want to make a massive splash in recruiting, hey, brother, why don't you stay home? They offered you $1 million. Here's 1.5. I need to see this one stick. We've seen Texas Tech in the past hold on to a 5-star, a bona fide wide receiver. We have not seen Syracuse do that yet. We literally have seen Texas Tech do it multiple times. When schools like this start breaking through for a kid in South Florida, we need to hold on. Joe, the South Florida thing throws me more than anything because there's going to be a lot of teams that try to flip him if Texas, the kid's 30 minutes away from Texas Tech. It's not that it's not that deep. I don't know here. Hypothetically, he sticks. In this regard, I would say it is a massive, massive day for the Syracuse Orange and Fran Brown.
So to that point, and I think that I can provide a pretty good anecdote for something like this. At University of Rhode Island, where I played, we recruited, strangely, a lot of kids from Florida. And the amount of those kids from Florida that stayed when it got cold and that didn't jump in the transfer portal and leave Actually, the transfer portal didn't start up until after, but didn't try to leave or also got so sick of it that they just didn't play well. We had a very small success rate with guys that came from Florida. To go all the way up north requires like an absolute total buy-in. This is what I'm saying, that like I really do think it tells us a lot about Fran Brown, but I do agree with you that I would keep an eye on this. I want him to go to Syracuse. I 100% want him. Like Syracuse fans, I want Calvin Russell to play basketball and football at Syracuse. The Miami basketball program sucks.
Stinks.
I don't need him going to Michigan either. I want to see him stick it at Syracuse. But it is tough seeing it firsthand. Those guys get homesick and also freezing their asses off, complaining about it every day at practice. Those guys very rarely do stick around.
He would play a lot of games on the East Coast in the South. Okay. I mean, the ACC outside of Boston College and Syracuse, I mean, maybe it's some certain situations. I get what you're saying. Like Joey's going to have to come play in Miami anyway, and his home games are in a dome.
Yeah, but you got to walk around campus in January.
That's fair.
Have you been to Syracuse, New York? Have you been to Buffalo? Have you been to upstate New York? It gets, pardon my language, it gets fucking cold. It gets really cold there. It's a different kind of cold.
December. I mean, it's always, I don't know how they play in that. But, yeah, I'm with you. I will just tell you this. The financial thing should worry everybody because, Joe, not getting ahead of myself here either. NIL Go hasn't denied most people in some of these NIL deals that I know that are going on. They're not denying them. They're not small. They're not small. Some of these 5 kids that are star kids that are committing. Joe, let me ask you a God's honest question. Do you think that Texas Tech did this with Felix Ojo and some of this is going to be NIL? It's not all going to be TV revenue. Do you really, really believe that they did not get this approved before they started doing it? Joe, the administration, we had LSU this week confirm it. They literally came out in a statement, said that they've been on the phone with the college football or college sports commission about NIL deals literally on the hour. So there also comes a point in time where I ask myself, listen, all I'm saying here before we get into deep semantic weeds, the money thing for me on this one, because of basketball, because of certain situations that I think teams would spend on this, can Syracuse hold on? Like, it's a big commitment here. If you're going to back Fran Brown, you better back him.
I think that it is important because, again, anyone who listens to the show regularly, we don't have a lot of Syracuse listeners, so they might be new to the channel. We try to be pragmatic. We try to talk about as many angles as possible and bring them up. We're not going to just commit to one thing and line up that one thought. So there's the positive of like, this is the sign. Right. And the truth is, let's get excited about Fran Brown. Let's get excited about the commitment.
No doubt.
Realistic and pay attention to the timeline of these things. It is only July. The thought that you just brought up, I'll save my thoughts on responding to for when we get to the Hugh Freeze segment, because that's tied into